Andy, we're surrounded by some fabulous looking dairy products made
Absolutely,
from British milk. The focus of the anti-dairy campaigners is liquid milk, but we've got all these other wonderful products made from milk, and they're all in growth here and in the rest of the world. Is that the main reason why you're optimistic about the sector?
Absolutely. I think the pattern of how the public buys dairy is changing. So that's driven around the way, principally how people are eating breakfast now. So that there's less milk being consumed, say, with breakfast cereals. But it's been fantastic during the COVID-19 lockdown to see that the great British public has fallen back in love with dairy in terms of the way they cook. So we've seen almost stellar increases in the demand for butter and for cheese. So yes, the pattern of the way that the public consumes dairy is changing, but overall the sector is in growth, which is just great to see.
I gather there's always a spin-off positive for the increase in vegetarianism as well with dairy products. Can you explain a bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, people tend to associate vegetarianism as if they're going to be using less dairy, but in fact, clearly a vegetarian has the same demand for protein. And so on average, an individual with a vegetarian diet tends to eat well, clearly they're having less meat, but they compensate with that with increased amounts of dairy to increase their protein levels.
So that's a positive there then.
Absolutely, yeah.
The UK government has just launched its, and I quote, "Made in the UK, sold to the world" export campaign with some pretty ambitious export targets. And NMR has just sponsored a report looking at the export potential for UK dairy products after Brexit. Why have you done this?
Yeah, it might seem strange that NMR is getting involved in effectively a market-related report, but we believe that the UK dairy industry needs a voice. I mean, we have a very large footprint in terms of our association with a number of British dairy farmers. We deal with all of the processors in the UK, and we see some very clever people who are behaving with clever investments, and we think they need a voice. We believe that there needs to be a quantitative research paper showing that the dairy sector in the UK has a very good future. So we're simply supporting the processors and the farmers who are our customers.
And what are the main points of the report?
So this report covers 90 countries, and that's 5 billion people. So the data set is a fantastic data set. And what it shows us in developing countries, as the economy grows, the demand in the middle classes increases for dairy products. So what we're seeing is that there's 5.6% growth in the demand for dairy products in these economies on an annual basis as the economies develop. Now that gives a great opportunity for established exporters to look at the developing countries as an opportunity to sell dairy products. Because yes, local production is increasing, but the gap is increasing at the same time. So local production in these economies is not meeting the demand, and therefore there is a great opportunity for traditional exporting countries to meet that demand in these countries.
So 90 countries, 5.6% growth. That's a huge amount of milk. Where's it going to come from?
Well, I think it's a good question, as they say, but I think the answer is where is it not going to come from? Because traditionally the exporting dairy countries such as New Zealand and Ireland and Holland are under there's environmental constraints, which means that they can't really produce increase their own local production. And so that gives an opportunity for countries such as the UK, which haven't really looked at export as an opportunity. The UK has been very focused on meeting domestic demand, whereas the UK can look at these opportunities and it can almost choose what it wants to do. Does it want to get involved in the commodity end of global dairy demand, or maybe look at higher end products, look at higher value products? But it's a great opportunity for us because we're almost coming at this new, and we can choose how we participate in that increasing demand.
So you would say dairy's pretty well placed then for life post-Brexit?
The retailers, if you like, have done a very good job in forcing the UK dairy sector through its pressure in liquid milk to be a very, very efficient production of dairy. But it's also, and from an environmental point of view, in a very good place, because on average, when you measure the carbon footprint of a UK dairy farm compared to the global average, then we're 50% per litre in terms of our carbon footprint. So the dairy farming section of the industry is very efficient and very environmentally aware. So whether it's farmers or processors, we're in a very good place to meet that increasing global demand.
Oh, that sounds really positive. What role will NMR have in shaping this great future as you see it?
Well, everything in the world now is driven around data, isn't it? So we basically have two revenue streams. We deal with half of the dairy farms in terms of providing them management information to drive the efficiency that I mentioned before, but also measuring carbon footprint. So we're a data company. We collect data, and that data is used by the farmers to produce, from a management point of view, to drive their own efficiency. But it's also used from a provenance point of view to enable the processors to prove where the milk has come from. Then the second revenue stream is the processors themselves, in terms of we're providing the services by which they pay their farmers, but we're also testing the milk in a way which ensures the quality of the product that they're using in the factories. So from our point of view, we're really well placed because everything is driven around data, and that's what we do. We're a data company.
So you can make the farmers even more efficient, to lower their carbon footprint, to produce the milk even more efficiently than now, to help them take advantage of the opportunities out in the big wide world.
Absolutely. I mean, we're talking about everybody's on a journey to net zero at the moment, aren't they? Everybody's on a journey. Well, you need a map if you're on a journey, and you need those reference points along the way. And NMR provides that data. It provides the route to net zero. So absolutely, yes, we would see that we can be very much part of that journey.
Excellent. Thank you very much.
Thank you.